Yeah, no, we can just rattle off.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. Already. We're going to give you 90 seconds. We're going to hit the 90 seconds after the start cycle down. That's when it's going to work. 90 seconds. Y'all talk.
Prior to that,
Right. And then make your start cycle
kick
down.
off on the other side.
Right.
Go.
On the other side, we're going to work.
Yeah, cool.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Generic instrumental.
We can lay out a little bit at the end, right, if we need to. We come back and it's the tail end. Nah, it's over. Not a lot you can do about that. I'm not currently, so I had the docks turned off, so just down block. I was looking at the review. Yeah, I'll be like, kick off on the other side here on the NFHS network. Boom. And, I can point however you want me to do it, right? Like I can. That is an exceptional name. That's really what I'm doing. Just fun names, Working some funky pentameters. Had a lot of names that need clarification. The one that I didn't have, I assume that's Cesar wrong.
That's what I would say.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't want to make the wrong assumption, being like the redneck.
This and This NFHS Network Championship event is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
From Coca-Booth Stadium, Wake Med Soccer Park in Hickory, North Carolina, it is time for the 3A Men's Soccer Championship, as it is Western Alamance, the Warriors, facing the Red Tornadoes of Hickory. I'm Darren Buck, Corey Hodges with me. And Corey, this one strikes me as an interesting matchup of a couple of varying styles, right? I think with Western Alamance, their mentality all season has been play possession, control, take advantage of limited opportunities in their third of the pitch, whereas with Hickory, the Red Tornadoes, their head coach Brian Gillings told us prior to the broadcast that their mantra all season long has been be relentless. This is a team that's going to run a lot more than Western Alamance is trying to.
Well, the big thing that sticks out to me early on, Darren, you look at both of these teams and some of the similarities, not only when it comes to, obviously, their style of play. That's one thing that you have to watch out for in this championship match, but also a 5-game winning streak coming into this final game tonight for Western Alamance, and then 5 straight on the other side for Hickory. And so 2 teams there on a heater and winning their way in. And then also when you look at just the rosters themselves, you look at Western Alamance, Darren, and of course 3 at the top in terms of scoring, combining for 50-plus goals with Villegas, Duran, Backus, and Carignan. And then on the other side for Hickory, you look at, of course, Tate, one of the 2 Tates, Almanza, Palencia, and then Rangel. So you'll be watching 3-4 players from either side tonight, and it feels like it'll be that quartet for either side that produces the most may get the championship win tonight.
Yeah, and I albeit with my statement about Western Alamance, both of these teams can score, right? I mean, multiple 9-goal performances for each team. So far this season, they both, as you mentioned, have won 5 consecutive matches, and this is what it all comes down to, an exciting matchup under the lights here, right adjacent to Wake Med Soccer Park, where the NWSL's North Carolina Courage and the USL2's NCFC, North Carolina Football Club, plays as well.
It's a perfect place here in the Triangle for soccer, Darren. I know you and I, longtime residents here for the last 10-plus years, and we've seen how soccer has grown, not just in Charlotte, but here in Raleigh, especially the Triangle, just alive with soccer. And, of course, the turnout tonight. There was a line out of the gates. I mean, going halfway into the parking lot. I was lucky to have a media access to bypass that line. If not, I think you'd still be saying, where's Corey at? Is he going to show up here tonight? But also when it comes to these winning streaks, one final note, Darren, that I picked up on, the shutouts as well. A little bit of a defensive feel to this one as well, especially when it comes to Hickory, entering not just with 5 straight victories, before the last 5, all shutouts, 2-0, 1-0 in either of those 4. And then on the other side for Western Alamance, they've got 3 shutouts in their last 4 victories. Teams that know how to play defense, and that's always critical in a championship match. Defense comes to the forefront when a title's on the line.
Well, I think to that point, at this juncture, it's to be expected. Both teams execute well. They're very tactical, and it should be intense. It should be competitive between these 2 teams on the pitch tonight. Hickory, the Red Tornadoes, 22-3-1 on the season, 18-5-1 for Western Alamance here at Coca-Booth Stadium, Wake Med Soccer Park, the site of tonight's 3A Men's Soccer Team Championship for the state of North Carolina. We'll kick off just a few moments away here on the NFHS Network. And Corey, again, it's a packed house here at Coca-Booth Stadium. So I think this one will be loud and exciting for us to call as well. It's a little chilly. I see you've got your scarf. That's good. And we'll certainly make it through and start moving, start generating some sound, and maybe that'll warm us up as well.
That'll get us into a full fervor. But, yeah, the having the scarf out tonight, critical. First time this season, first time for everything. Almost Thanksgiving next week, so about that time of year. But, of course, you know how it is down here in North Carolina, Darren. At times, November can be 75 degrees. So this feels normal, and it looks wonderful out there on the pitch tonight.
It's funny. As a matter of fact, a couple of years ago, calling these same championship games, I remember I felt like I was going to play a round of golf, right?
Right.
Just a polo and some shorts and tennis shoes, and we rocked it that way. So a stark contrast from a couple of years ago. But Western Alamance and Hickory on the other side, as we're going to pause for national anthem, some pregame festivities here momentarily, as the Warriors and the Red Tornadoes compete for the state championship on the other side here at Wake Med Soccer Park.
They're like extra stuff from the banner.
They're taking pictures, team photos right there. They'll all go over to the sideline and then they'll come over and do the introduction to the stars on the banner.
Yeah, starts with you. I can talk to them all 5 minutes. I got to keep talking.
Bit of a pause before our pregame festivities. Some sportsmanship awards to be given out as well here at Coca-Booth Stadium at Wake Med Soccer Park, home of the North Carolina Courage and North Carolina FC professional soccer teams. Western Alamance out of Elon, North Carolina. Hickory out of, Hickory, North Carolina. So both traveling a bit. We will have 4 new champions at this state championship level because the 8 teams here to compete in all 4 games, newcomers from a year ago. So that's certainly exciting, something cool to see, although, we do love our return teams as well from year to year.
One thing as well, Darren, not only that, of course, that's a big point, of course. You get some returners, you get some familiar faces, but I know sometimes we get to these championship matches, regardless of the sport, whether it's a championship game or a championship match, and you talk about fatigue and, teams playing 2.5+ months. Got to look down there at the pitch right now at getting set and getting ever closer. But especially when you look at Western Alamance, Darren, had to go to penalty kicks, and granted they were able to, of course, win against Lee County, 6-seeded Lee County, 4-2 on penalty kicks. But if you think about it, Alamance had to go further as opposed to Hickory, a 1-0 clean win. So maybe that plays a factor. Can't quite say for certain, but a little bit of extra effort expended for the Western Alamance Warriors just, 3 days ago. Both teams playing on the 16th to win to get in.
That's certainly a factor that comes into play this late in the season. I know if you're each team competing in this championship game, you don't want to think that fatigue is going to set in, right? You would like to believe that adrenaline is going to carry you through and that you've executed to this point in the year, and this night is no different. I'd like to assume that the weather might have at least a slight hand in the outcome of this one, because for the extent of this season, this has not been the weather in North Carolina. Right. So
I had a feeling on the way up here today, and I thought Darren's probably going to bring up the weather, and he's probably going to say that this is, I guess, unseasonably extra cold. I mean, granted, it is almost Thanksgiving, so it should be turning a little bit colder even here in the South. But, yeah, we know how crazy November can be. Sometimes it's in the 70s. Sometimes it's like tonight, and it'll be even colder tomorrow night, if you can believe that. But it'll get down into the low 30s, high 20s overnight. So there's going to be a freeze warning, and this is a match that starts under the lights and will end probably a little around 9 o'clock, 9:15, 9:30. So you're getting down cool, and you've got to adjust to that. Whether you take a hit, whatever happens, the cold will affect things tonight.
It will be crisp, to say the least, by the time we wrap up. So teams heading on to the end line, and will be announced prior to the starting lineup. You're watching live coverage of the NCHSAA Soccer Championships on the NFHS Network. NFHSnetwork.com/NCHSAA is your destination for the most comprehensive coverage of the NCHSAA Championship action. From live games to full game replays, highlights, it's all there. NFHSnetwork.com/NCHSAA. You can become a subscriber and get access to all these game replays, coverage, highlights from high school sporting events from across the country. Millions of athletes, thousands of games, one destination. NFHSnetwork.com. High school happens here.
We are pleased to recognize host city sponsors for the NCHSAA Soccer Championships. A special word of thanks is due to the Greater Raleigh Sports Alliance for its support of these championships. This group is involved with another number of state championships held in this area, and we thank them for their support and involvement. The official host school for this final is Willow Spring High School. We congratulate the participants in today's game. Their hard work and effort commands everyone's respect. This game provides each of us with an opportunity to demonstrate how much we appreciate that effort and dedication. Profanity, sexist, racial, or ethnic comments, or other intimidating actions directed at anyone in this contest venue.
This event is available for all subscribers via the NFHS Network Live mobile app. Download the app today on Fire TV, Apple TV, Roku, and Google TV to start watching live games wherever you are. You're watching the NCHSAA Soccer Championships on the NFHS Network.
For the playing of our national anthem. The colors are being presented.
Academy Sports and Outdoors has the gifts to make this your most fun Christmas ever. From game tables to bikes to team sports, and the best from Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour, golf, and grills. We've got everybody covered this holiday. Merry Christmas from everyone at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Really what drew me to Safer is my passion that started when my son Shane was knocked unconscious on the field for 5 minutes in a high school game. The fear that came up from the entire stadium, the ambulance pulling onto the field. And at the time, I just thought, someday I'm gonna make my way into this helmet safety space. Safer is that marriage between I'm a little bit afraid of my kid playing and here's a solution.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance was rated as the #1 auto insurer and the only A+ rated company in the nation per Crash Network's 2020 Insurer Report Card. When you have a claim, be sure to have A+ auto insurance from Farm Bureau. Helping you is what we do best.
This NFHS Network Championship event is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Back with you on the NFHS Network. It is the 3A Men's Soccer Team Championship for the state of North Carolina in Hickory, Cocoa Booth Stadium at WakeMed Soccer Park. I'm Darren Vaught. The man next to me is Corey Hodges. Corey, Western Alamance and Hickory lined up on the edge of the field here as the full team lineups will be announced. And we get set to play some soccer. A hot start to the season for Hickory. We talked about the streaks for both teams to get to this point. Hickory won its first 5 games of the season. That wasn't the case for Western Alamance. They've had their ups and downs, battled injuries, but they feel that they are at their healthiest when it matters most at this point in the season, the finale, if you will.
That's right. You know, it doesn't matter the sport. Again, it's all about being as healthy as humanly possible, and they've got all of their prime goal scorers out there. Really, both teams do. If you talk about the top 3 and 4 in terms of goal scoring this season, they've got them all out there on the pitch. And that's critical considering this is a season, Darren, that starts in mid-August and goes now until mid-November. So it's a little bit of a trudge to get here, but these are 2 of the top teams in North Carolina. These are 2 of the teams that deserve this type of coverage, this type of spotlight on a primetime Friday night matchup here, holiday season. And really, again, it's all about how you start in one way, but even more so how you finish the season and rounding into form here tonight. Both teams, and you talk about a great matchup, it's right there on paper. Got shutout defense. You've got both teams that can score a lot of goals. Could go either way.
It could. It should be exciting. You talk about the primetime feel of this one on a Friday night. This is our only game here for today at these state championships. The other 3 divisions playing tomorrow here at WakeMed Soccer Park. So not only is it all eyes on you for the day if you're these two teams, you're the opener as well. So a lot of energy, a lot of pent-up anticipation heading into this one.
That's the thing about it, is that tomorrow it starts at 11, goes until about 8:30. It'll be a long day for us tomorrow. It'll be a long wake-up call. It'll be an early wake-up call and an early leave tomorrow as well. But we're looking forward to that. But, yeah, that's you get the night all to yourself. And, again, obviously traffic backed up as usual. It's nothing new for the Triangle, but it really, you can't distinguish it from any other night. But again, you're getting here and you're seeing everyone out front. You're seeing the stage being set, as you just said, Darren. And these are two of the best teams under the primetime lights, and you set this up perfectly. And again, it's just it's really just such a blessing as well for not only Camden Brooks, but also for Brian Gillings for Hickory, two head coaches that have seen everything this season, bringing teams with a combined record in terms of wins of over 40, and you're seeing great high school soccer. And I think it's a level of soccer that's sometimes overlooked a little bit. There's so much focus these days on United States professional soccer and something that started in the 70s and it's gone on until now. And everyone remembers back to the 70s when George Best came over and made such an impact here in the United States. And he got in on that mid-70s soccer craze. And unfortunately, I don't feel like it's transitioned as much to high school soccer in terms of having that spotlight. But for college soccer, it has. I think this is a great opportunity, though, for high school soccer to get its spotlight, especially here in the Tar Heels state, to take some of the attention away from basketball, from football. I mean, right here in the Triangle, it's Duke and Chapel Hill.
It's college basketball country.
It's college basketball country. It's painted that way. It's been like that for decades. But soccer gets their night to shine tonight, and I think they'll revel in it and take full advantage.
I think it's apt also, with that being said, that it's taking place here at the home of North Carolina FC, which owns one of the largest youth programs in the country in terms of soccer development from an amateur standpoint. So it's appropriate, to say the least.
That's right. I think it is. You give these students out here tonight, these student athletes, a chance to come to a place that normally only hosts regional soccer here. Of course, some championship matches like this, but otherwise professionals trying to go outside of the United States, perfecting their craft here, and you give it in an up-to-date modern facility as well. And it really, again, for two teams that have performed as well as they have this season, they shouldn't be anywhere else tonight. They should be at a place like this to give them the full stage, and it's so great as well. I know that's something else that sometimes is brought up as well about attendance with high school games. Do you get everybody out? Well, they're out here tonight. No one's staying at home. They're coming out here to see either their sons or their cousins or their brothers, their nephews, their boyfriends tonight. They're coming out here to see them and cheer them on. And I think that kind of quashes the whole, I guess it's been somewhat of a narrative the last 10-plus years of high school, we'll go to a college game. They're going to a high school game tonight, and it's for all the marbles, as they say.
It is. Well, they are out here in full force. They are all bundled up. I see plenty of knit caps, beanies, toboggans, I know, is a popular term for that in this region, so might as well use that one as well. A lot of big coats, and we're bundled up here as well. So it's nice to see players recognized individually, right? Each player, whether a starter or reserve, each one of them had a part in the success of their teams getting here. So one of the elements that makes an event like this so special, both recognizing the sportsmanship awards winners for both teams, but each player individually being called out and recognized as well for their part in the accomplishment.
I know if you go back to your high school days, and I know for you and I that's 10-plus years, but we can go back. You and I are only a year apart, so we pretty much graduated at the same time. But if you go back to high school days, whether you participated in a sport or not, it was always a special time when you got an award. I think for me it was spelling bee a couple of times, and that was the biggie. It's like, all right, Corey knows how to spell.
Yeah.
He's a good speller. And so you kind of put that plaque up on the wall. You put it in your folder, your childhood photo album, you stick it in there, and you get to look at it, and you get to reflect back on your past glory, if you will. But another one as well, I got a perfect attendance award. I've yet to figure out.
Those are both things I'll add that in adulthood most people struggle with.
They
right?
do. I know I have. I peaked with attendance in high school. After I graduated, it started to become a problem. I'm not quite sure why that happened, but the point being, you can have fun with it, but the point is, it's so important when you're in high school, when you're getting ready to make that next step, to have something you look back on. And I never competed in anything like this, any type of state title match, regardless of the sport. This is very important. It's one of those things you think about 30, 40, 50 years down the line. My dad talks all the time about what he did in high school, whether it was football or basketball. He was a 2-time all-state guy in both sports, went to Emory to play football. He talks about that all the time. You would think that was, apart from probably having me and marrying my beautiful mother, probably the best part of his life. And so these guys will carry those memories as well.
It is a cool thought,
yeah.
right? That a game like this, a season like this, a team experience like this is going to be something these young men are going to be talking about 20 years from now,
Absolutely.
30 years from now. Certainly something to behold and admire the moment for, of course. So both teams huddled up and set to take the field for the start of this contest. And look, we've talked about stylistically what each of these teams is trying to accomplish. How does that affect the way you would predict maybe the first 10 minutes or so of this to go?
Yeah, that's the thing about this, Darren. You look at Hickory, you look at Western Alamance. We've already talked about how they've thrown in some defense this season. They've been able to garner some shutouts. For each team, a smattering of shutouts. But then, of course, you see the outlier games as well. You've got the 9-1 win. You go to Western Alamance, has a couple of them. In fact, they had back-to-back 9-0 wins. On the season, they have 4+ 9-0 shutouts. So does Western Alamance come out, especially so when you look at their goaltending numbers this season, with what Dee's done at the goal with 90 total saves and only 19 goals allowed? Do you come out and have a defensive flair if you're Western Alamance? If you're Hickory, do you come out and you see, all right, we're coming in with 4 straight wins, most importantly, 4 straight shutouts? Western Alamance can respond with some defense. Hickory, maybe they can as well. I don't know. I feel like Western Alamance may have that offensive flow early, but Hickory, don't sleep on the defense, even though we'll be sleeping here in a couple hours. But don't sleep on Hickory to start on D.
Almost set for kickoff. Western Alamance and Hickory for the 3A Men's Soccer State Championship here in North Carolina on the NFHS Network. That is Gael Villegas-Duran, the junior striker at mid-pitch, number 7 in white there for Western Alamance. He'll have the first touch, and then we will be underway.
Yeah, what a season for Villegas-Duran, Darren. At 24 goals, 8 assists, accounting for 56 total points.
Gives back to Aiden Cornell, and they'll work backward to move forward. Quick miscue, and Western Alamance with a turnover. They like to play possession, so expect a lot of controlling in the midfield for the Warriors, at least early on especially. See if they can control it here. Villegas-Duran. Good control. Ian Backus issues it. Gets it right back at midfield. Out of the near side. Jorge Salas streaking down the line. Not much spacing. Nothing for Gael to work with. This is interesting, Corey. Western Alamance appears to be going for it early on.
That's kind of what I thought may happen. You know, Western Alamance, an offensive-minded team, also a lot of parity, too. Double digits in terms of their players who have scored at least 1 goal this season.
There's Villegas-Duran, a bit too deep, and off at the end line. That's going to result in a Western Alamance corner.
Always that first crucial corner kick of the night. Trying to work the angles, of course, coming in and making sure your defense is set.
There it goes. It's on a line, headed out, and Hickory still a little stressful there as it's still in the box. They eventually get it out.
Let's go, Hickory!
And that mitigates a tight situation there early.
Absolutely, yeah. It's always about that first corner kick, how you judge it, and it always seems to come too close for comfort.
Western Alamance with it right back. Backus dribbling into a corner, but it's knocked away. Hickory so far in this one having to tighten things up all the way back in their formation.
Yeah, Ben Howard over there defensively too.
Nice move by Jordan Shutt. Now he'll break free to the corner. Keeps it in, double teamed, and it's out at the sideline, so a throw-in way deep into their own territory.
I feel like Howard and Hickory really forced it on the opposite side that time, made it come back to the other corner.
Back to mid-pitch, Sawyer Exum there to rein it back in for the Warriors. Salas gives to Shutt, and cross off the mark, just a lot of red and yellow in the middle of the defense there for Hickory. And they'll have an opportunity of their own here.
Yeah, Hickory really had a good opportunity there to play defense and started from the opposite corner and then brought it down and really shut down Western Alamance. It really didn't have a window.
Robbie Simpson, the senior there, just staying with it for Western Alamance. Gets it to deflect off of a Hickory player, and the ball forward to Ian Backus. Knocked away. Here comes another Western Alamance corner.
This terrific track back defense that time from Tate, who ran down that Western Alamance Warrior on the move, and credit Tate to catch up with the quick shoes.
All conference, the 6'1" senior defender, Lewis Tate. And Hickory escapes again. The spring-loaded counter here. And great defense from Western Alamance's Chandler Lynch, the senior, making the slide and slowing things down.
Yeah, Almanza's quick, but you had to be just a little bit quicker to catch up to that. So often, Darren, in those situations, ball just seems to get ahead and rolls so far that it's almost half the effort just to catch back up to it, and never mind trying to put yourself in a position to score.
Hickory, the bouncer on the throw-in. Good job by the Warriors to defend, and now they've got a little bit of momentum on their own. Backus can't run it down, and it's punched away. That will slow things mid-pitch.
Yeah, Hickory made it difficult that time by at least getting to mid-pitch and working that ball back. Hutto that time was there and kind of stalled everything out, at least momentarily.
Possession taken away from Robbie Simpson there, but Western Alamance takes it right back. Jacob Carignan. Simpson and Backus seem to be in on everything. Excellent job seeking that one by Salas, and it slows things down for Hickory.
Salas was on a burner that time, just ran out of room himself right next to the end line.
The two Tates on the right side of the defense for Hickory. Move it forward. Cornell overran it. Thankfully, the structure held up in the back for the Warriors, and now they'll have a free kick.
There's two Tates for Hickory, two to watch, of course, with the most prominent one being Lewis Tate with his 15 goals this season to lead the Red Tornadoes in scoring.
Ball lofted forward, nobody there for the Red Tornadoes. Well, a couple of times down the field so far, Western Alamance has had Ian Backus and Robbie Simpson trying to do a lot of the ball carrying themselves, or the ball handling themselves. That time it's punched away, and contact will force things to slow down. Robbie Simpson again. It's Jacob Carignan again, rather.
Yeah, Carignan took the fall just shy of mid-pitch on the first real collision of the night. And that's also as well, Darren, where those cold temperatures start to come into play. That hurts just a little bit more than it normally would in August.
Carignan down into the corner. Backus tries to line one in. And again, Hickory just a bit too strong of infrastructure. Both of these teams, though, as we've illustrated, very good defensively, so we would expect as much off both sides.
That defense is rounded into form for both teams coming in. You would expect both to be playing their best defense of the season on the final night of the season.
And Backus hit the deck, comes right back up, and regains control.
That's absolutely terrific work that time for Backus to really get backed off.
They swing it around. Salas now crosses it over, and a bicycle attempt was soft, but on target. Will Braun there to reel it in for the Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, that was pretty that time. I know it didn't result in a goal, but still a lot of flair on that one.
Hickory pushing it maybe just a bit too much as it goes out of bounds. Western Alamance now with it again. Warriors have had a good chunk of the possession so far in this one.
Yeah, they've had the predominant scoring opportunities, just haven't been able to come through yet.
Not many touches for Gael Villegas Duran, though, who just touches it out.
You're watching number 7 tonight for Western Alamance for sure. You know, obviously with his goal-scoring production this season, you have to keep an eye on him throughout, but so far has been quieted just a bit, but of course it's early.
Shot pokes it away. And David Escobedo. Hickory keeps hold. And they'll try to play a little bit of possession here. Tate streaking the sideline. And can't wedge it inside. A bit of a one and done for Hickory. And now Western Alamance will get it back to mid-pitch again.
All about being in the right place in the right time that time for the Western Alamance defender.
Villegas Duran was all alone. Has it knocked away. Red Tornadoes issue a pass forward. Unsuccessful, and now Western Alamance back with it. Corey, possession has seemed to be one-sided in this one. There have been opportunities. I hesitate to call any scoring opportunity especially good to this point.
Right.
But it just goes to show both defenses pretty strong when, especially given time to be in formation.
That's right. Yeah, I go back to the little bicycle kick try that didn't work out, but you may have to come up with more stuff like that tonight to maneuver it past either defense.
There's a move past Simpson, and the pass forward just a bit too strong.
Follow up on that point as well. When you're talking about teams with multiple shutouts in a season, you're trying to figure out how do you crack the code, and I don't think you can do it by just going straight ahead and trying to score one in from the sides or maybe on the burst. You got to work all the angles tonight. You got to pull out every single trick, every single little extra step.
Spears Culpepper hits the ground. So how about this? A dead ball opportunity for Hickory. Well outside of the box, but this stands to be their best opportunity so far.
Yeah, credit Culpepper to buy Hickory this opportunity here.
Culpepper runs past. Cesar Rangel sends it in, and it bounces to the side of the frame, pulled in. And Spencer D has it in his hands for the first time.
D, we're going to talk a lot about him tonight. We're going to say his name a whole lot tonight as well, and up to the challenge there early on.
Bit of a slight frame, D, for a goalkeeper, as you might have noticed there. 5'9" tall, not the typical framework for a goalkeeper, but if you can play the position, if you're skilled at it, it doesn't really matter.
That's right. You know, that's the thing as well. You are accustomed to seeing a little bit of a bigger frame there at the goal, but it doesn't matter. If you can bounce from side to side and cover your defensive position in front of the goal, it doesn't matter.
Nice ball ahead for Hickory, but you see the white jerseys catching up to the action and creating some congestion. Contact, no call, and Western Alamance escapes trouble. Villegas Duran pokes it around and will be held up. And we'll go back to Hickory.
We saw exactly just that time why Villegas Duran has 24 goals on the season right there. The crowd started to swell a little bit, kind of like when the ball hits the top of the goal post and everyone swells a bit thinking, is it going in, is it not? Villegas Duran got the whole place thumping.
Free kick for the Red Tornadoes, lofted all the way to the box. 50-50 ball won by Western Alamance, though. Chandler Lynch knocks it away down in the corner. That was at the feet of Brandon Garcia, number 15 for the Red Tornadoes. He's making his way into the box for a scoring chance here. Someone who's been very involved on the attack so far for the Red Tornadoes. And another great defensive play there. Jordan Shutt that time, clears it out.
Yeah, I like what we saw that time from Garcia. I know it was obviously bounced back from Western Alamance, but still Garcia, physical, close to the end line, and at least giving your team a chance here. You've got to have some of that physical play early while everyone's still relatively fresh. We're only, about 15 minutes in.
15th minute. No score for these two in the 3A Men's State Soccer Championship in Hickory, North Carolina. Scramble for it. Ends up with the Red Tornadoes. They issue it backward to calm the situation. There's Tate to Tate. Garcia navigating toward the middle. That one was deflected and is wide of the post. Need for D to make a save. It remains 0-0 for that.
You're staring that down if you're D. You're just fortunate that it skates off relatively harmless that time. Won't be the last time that one of those Tates becomes a prominent presence up front.
Like Salas is going to take the goal kick, but we pause for some substitutions. Aldo Cruz, the junior, enters for Hickory. Salas with the kick, and Western Alamance scrambling to regain control. They clear it away. By the way, replaced Brandon Garcia for the time being on the right side of the attack. Some tough luck deflections for Western Alamance. Looked as if they were going to be able to clear it away. The Tornadoes widen things out. Not enough space.
The biggest thing that time was the Red Tornadoes, just a presence under the feet of Western Alamance. They're consistently there. They're going for the right spot, too. They're going for the ball. And they really made that difficult, despite the fact that it seemed like there was a little bit of momentum growing for the Warriors. Credit the Red Tornadoes for being so active.
First corner of the night for Hickory. Now it's to the opposite corner. Tate with the cross, and that one skims the top of the crossbar and lands on top of the net. That was well struck. Had a chance to be one that just snuck in there.
Right. See, now that's the thing right there for D. You've already taken really 2 close calls here. I know that the one that slid by wasn't the most dangerous in the world, but anytime it gets into some of that net, whether it's above, on the sides, doesn't matter. It's a little bit too close for comfort.
How about Jordan Shutt here? Headed it straight up into the air and then ripped it away to regain possession for the Warriors. And couldn't get around his man, Justin Ortiz, without having a hand around the shoulder.
Yeah, Shutt was really trying to make himself some space that time and felt like maybe he could clear and get onto the other side of the pitch and start a move, but a little too physical that time.
Red Tornadoes back on the attack. That one booted out by Western Alamance as Backus brings it up the pitch. Trying for a counter. He's gotten ahead of himself a couple of times. The stutter step there gets him deep into the corner, and the cross is reeled in. LeBron makes the save, and it's a one and done for Western Alamance.
That was still something special that time, despite the fact it didn't quite work out for Backus. That was very, very impressive with that footwork.
Ortiz with the cross this time, headed away. Not a favorable direction, but it's cleared out, and Western Alamance escapes momentarily.
Yeah, Lynch just got that away from D and give him a break for a second and get it out of the scoring territory.
Escobedo. Back to Culpepper, and they'll slow things down, sending it all the way to the back line. Duran rips it right away. Basically alone, he's got a few with him. And will cede possession for just a moment, but that is a great takeaway.
Absolutely. Vijagas Duran just playing so well on the far side and really came up with a defensive play. And again, he's going to buy himself some of those scoring opportunities by doing just that, taking the ball away, getting aggressive, and really not looking for an assist. You don't really need a teammate if you're Vijagas Duran. Just take it away and try to start something yourself.
Some fresh legs for the Warriors. Jordan Shutt, who's been really good so far, exits in favor of the senior Garrett Bessiker. As Red Tornadoes will have a goal kick. So now we're past the 20-minute mark in this one, Corey. And again, I asked you how you predicted those first 10, 20 minutes would go, and I think I'll ask you to compare expectations versus reality.
Right. Well, I would say so far Western Alamance has had the majority of the scoring opportunities. Hickory's had a couple chances too, but those Warriors coming out aggressive, and they're still being led, of course, by Vijagas Duran, and everyone's kind of falling in lockstep behind him. So offensive-minded Warriors, and not the only offensive-minded Warriors team out there these days, and they're kind of living up to the moniker.
Salas with the throw-in. Floats up into the box. Should be easy for the Red Tornadoes to take care of. A couple of missed touches, though. Sawyer Exum handling for the Warriors. It's it right back. Ooh, splits defenders there. One touch from Simpson to Salas, and now some space for the Warriors. Down to Noah Barrett, one touch, and it's one hop into the arms of Braun.
Yeah, Braun had to watch it that time. Western Alamance was trying to form a little bit of a triangle that time to circumvent it around and get a good shot.
Hickory with a long boot toward the goal, and D has to come out. He almost overplayed his hand there. Able to squeeze it, though.
Yeah, see now for D, that's really third time tonight that he's been. That's the ultimate challenge that time. That's as close as it has been. But D getting out from his defensive position.
And now that tackle just a bit too aggressive for Villegas Duran. We'll shift things to one side of the pitch. Long free kick served into the box. 4 headers later. Punched down into the corner. And a weak dribbler out of bounds to clear things away. Garrett Bessaker had a foot on it, but it was deflected. That's a few times in a row. A relatively long set piece for the Red Tornadoes has made its way into the box. I think they're going to be looking for scoring opportunities off of all of those. I mean, that's a pretty dangerous thing in your arsenal at this level.
Yeah, whenever you can clear it, whenever you can get into that scoring box area and you've got an opportunity, that's all you can ask for. And really both sides starting to step up in that department.
Simpson, a strong pass. Wasn't sure if Barrett was going to be able to run it down. Now the kick back to Salas, and nobody there as he poked it through. Back to the Warriors. They'll try again. Cornell goes out wide. Exum. And a diving header there. Tate, I believe it was. Gets right back up and defends his post. Villegas Duran just outside the box, loses it at the end line. And he was the last to touch it. No, it's going to be a corner for Western Alamance.
Now you've got to play the corner again and be on the lookout. It's been a dearth of corner kicks here recently. Now you've got to stare it down and get ready defensively at the goal if you're Braun.
The freshman Barrett lofts it up, and Tate heads it away. Back to Barrett, tries another cross. Ping-pongs in there a little bit, and is eventually lofted out at the end line. So this time it'll be a goal kick for Hickory. And as we've seen, they've had their chances getting deep in to scoring territory, getting some chances against D on the other end. The frequency hasn't been there for them as it has Western Alamance. It seems like a quality over quantity mantra for Hickory so far in this one.
No, yeah, I'm right with you there, and you're right. For Western Alamance, it has been the advantage so far. But again, it's somewhat negligible. It's not as daunting of a scoring possibility advantage for the Warriors when you look at Hickory as well. I think both teams are really starting to even up a little bit, and that would figure here as we get close to that 10-minute to go mark.
More substitutions. Western Alamance sends in Jacob Carignan back. He started the match. That one leaks free for Hickory, but good closure there defensively. And D leisurely scoops it up.
Yeah, D's getting some work now. I feel like between these two, whether it's Braun or D's had the most opportunities he's had to deflect, and he's starting to work himself into a pretty good groove now defensively.
Nifty work on the balls in the air for Western Alamance. Here's Salas down the sideline, has to leap Tate, who slid under it. That was a couple of things in play, Corey, for Salas. Instincts, right? Just reaction time. You're also not trying to trample over your team, your opposition in that case.
Yeah. Credit Tate especially there as well to make the defensive play without anything unnecessary. That's the definition of a clean defensive play, to take the ball away, but you're not getting in trouble.
Look at that through ball by Aiden Cornell. Not quite on target, but man, that was close, and it forces another corner.
Yeah, the movement by Cornell to at least put himself kind of at the phalanx of the top of that formation for Western Alamance. That's kind of what we were talking about earlier. You're not going in from the sides, you're not working the angles, you're going straight ahead like a spearhead.
Barrett sends it in, up for a header. And the 50-50 ball won by Hickory. You saw defender Keith Johnson, the junior, is 6'3", coming up for Western Alamance there. One of the tallest players on the pitch. So the Warriors hunting him for a header. Simpson's pass deflected, physical tackle there. And Hickory back with it. Foul call keeps it with the Red Tornadoes. They reversed to the field in a hurry there, but that's really the first time they've sort of pulled back the reins at about the 18-yard mark.
Yeah, they've stopped it short just a little bit there instead of going all the way. Maybe it's a case of you've gotten to this point where you've had a couple of efforts time out a bit. They've kind of run out of steam.
Low-lying line drive of a kick. D slides in and makes the grab.
I'm telling you, D has been really working efficiently in front of that goal, and he's having to now go in any direction that's requested of him. He's had to be nimble and quick, and he's been not only both of those, but also he's had a heady presence in front of that goal to be on the alert.
Salas tried to poke it by. Garcia was the one that headed it initially. Can't keep control. Ian Backus tried to find some space, not enough there, and it's knocked away.
Yeah, Backus went quick. He saw his opportunity. The window opened, didn't hesitate.
No window there for Noah Barrett down into the corner. Couple of quick passes, and the Red Tornadoes with a chance, but it's out of bounds. Rangel not able to run it down.
Yeah, Rangel was just a blur that time trying to catch up with it. You could see it, you could almost feel at that time the intensity to try to catch up with that loose ball out.
It stood to possibly be one of the cleanest looks at frame and at Western Alamance goaltender Spencer D.
Yeah, it's all about catching up to it because you had some wide open pitch in front of you, and again, like we mentioned earlier as well, you got to catch up to it first and then you start the attack, but that ball had a little bit too much speed on it.
Warriors swapping freshman for freshman, it looks like. Blake Backus into the contest. Noah Barrett out. And Jordan Shutt back in as well. Fresh legs for Western Alamance, tripped up just outside the box. Clean takeaway there, as it's called for the Red Tornadoes.
Yeah, Bessiger had it, lost it, no call.
Garcia tried the through ball on the ground, and it's knocked away at the end line. That'll be a Hickory corner.
And Salas just pestering that time for Western Alamance. Would not give up step for step.
And on second thought, it'll be a goal kick for Western Alamance. That is a massive win for them defensively. Salas a rocket. And taken away. And the shot just wide. D was all over that side of the post. But it was deflected, so Red Tornadoes with yet another corner here.
Yeah, the disparity already between Braun and D. D's taken the most attempts, and he's been ready to go on every single one of them. He's ready for any directional kick on the other side.
Here comes another low-lying corner. I think that has not done Hickory any favors. It's skipped away. And then Tate trying to get it past Shutt, unsuccessful.
Yeah, good one-on-one battle that time between Tate and Shutt.
Throw in headed away. A brief moment for a potential counter there for Western Alamance. As Lynch lets it go out of bounds, it'll be another goal kick.
Salas again still in there for Western Alamance. He keeps popping up. Can't miss that 24 right now for the Warriors. He just keeps making his presence felt.
His base position is in the back in the defense, but he's done a lot of running up and down this near sideline. Shot through contact, gets some relief from the backside. Blake Backus is looking to go forward to Simpson. Taking away Bessiker at midfield. And just too many bodies. Simpson flipped over with the hit. And that will be a yellow card issued to Lewis Tate, justifiably so. That was just incidental in ways, but just a little too much contact to overlook.
Yeah, Simpson took the worst of that. Of course, Backus really got Western Alamance down there, and then, of course, the fall by Simpson with the defender right in front, and kind of felt that call coming the entire time.
Simpson is up, seems to be okay. And heads in to see if maybe he can have a shot at finishing with this dead ball. Better angle than the corners they've had so far. Shutt lofts it up, and it's deflected and then cleared. Nice job by Hickory.
Yeah, Johnson down there as well that time to try to get to it. But yeah, Hickory stood tall that time against Shutt.
Throw in for Western Alamance. Villegas Duran down into the corner, and possession goes back to Hickory. Bit of frustration there visibly for Villegas Duran. Simpson overruns it, but the attempt at the through ball picked off, and the Warriors again with it, but good recovery by Hickory defensively. They've been way more willing to try those long balls, and it's knocked away by Johnson.
Western Alamance did well defensively that time to have a bevy on the other side to kind of force that back line defensively that time to move it away.
Nice first touch by Carignan. Tries it forward, poked away, and the Red Tornadoes with a chance of their own. Salas avoids a foul there. It gets into his man in the box, and it rolls away at the end line. That is, again, Jorge Salas running all over the place.
Yeah, he's not quitting defensively. He's step for step, and a couple are like that from Western Alamance to where they'll pursue the offensive player the entire way down and keep up, and that's what you have to do that close to the goal. You can't give an inch in that situation.
Rangel this time on the corner, gets it right back. High angle there, but nothing doing for Hickory. Look at this, Villegas Duran, will he be able to run it down? He does not. Defense recovers for Hickory and prevents the striker from making his impact.
Yeah, Villegas Duran, he had his opportunity, but again, just couldn't quite catch up. But he's putting himself in the right spots, and that's been from the very beginning until now. It's not going to change even after halftime.
Full head of steam for Exum. Nobody else was really pushing at the same pace. But launched out of bounds. Western Alamance now with the throw-in. Simpson, good job sliding in there.
Always these final under 2 minutes or so of each half, especially so in the first half, Darren, to where you're trying to be careful as an offense. You want to try to strike right before halftime, but at the same time, defensively, you just don't want to give up that late goal, because really for both sides, Hickory and Western Alamance, they've played such sterling defense thus far. You'd hate to kind of make a miscue here late, but you do have to guard about being too timid, either offensively or defensively.
Range being pulled back. And Jordan shot with the defensive play.
Yeah, talked about timidness. None that time for Shutt. Very physical.
Simpson as well aggressively comes up and makes the play. And out of bounds, so Western Alamance will have a throw-in opportunity here.
Yeah, certainly Jordan Shutt has risen to the forefront here for Western Alamance in these waning moments of the opening half. And if you're looking for the defensive presence, the pesterer out there, more than likely, you probably look at number 11, Shutt.
Carignan is off for Western Alamance. Ian Backus donning the captain's armband. Back on. Now under 30 seconds to play in the first half of action. Here's Garcia for Hickory. Seeing if the Red Tornadoes can make one last run. The cross knocked away, courtesy Robbie Simpson. Under 10 until the midway point. Backus not in time as the clock expires. And the first half ends 0-0, Corey. I mean, a gritty one, defensive at this point. We've got an exciting one on our hands to get the weekend started at Wake Med Soccer Park.
Oh, that was terrific there in those last couple seconds for Western Alamance there, and for Villegas, Duran, and also Backus too. You know, they had their opportunities there, and you see that kind of play, just as we had mentioned in the waning moments of the first half, to where you have to be so careful defensively not to give something up late. If you do, it gives you that bad feeling going into the half. But again, 0-0 here at the break, and everyone's on the same page. And what you know it, a defensive match for two teams that kind of ride in the defense coming in. Nothing new there, almost as we expected.
Almost. We're usually not quite 100% right. It's the 3A men's soccer team championships here at WakeMed Soccer Park. Western Alamance and Hickory tied 0-0. You're watching the NCHS AA Soccer Championships on the NFHS Network.
What drew me to Safer is my passion that started when my son Shane was knocked unconscious on the field for 5 minutes in a high school game. The fear that came up from the entire stadium, the ambulance pulling onto the field. And at the time, I just thought, someday I'm gonna make my way into this helmet safety space. Safer is that marriage between I'm a little bit afraid of my kid playing and here's a solution.
Amazingly, next summer will mark the 50th anniversary of one of the most significant occurrences in our nation's history, the signing of Title IX into law. This landmark 1972 federal law states,
"No person in the United States shall,
on the basis of sex, be excluded from participation in,
be denied the benefits of,
or be subjected to discrimination under
any education program or activity, receiving federal financial assistance." 37 words that changed everything.
While the bill did not specifically address high school sports, the opportunities that the passage of Title IX afforded millions of girls to be involved in interscholastic sports and activities have been life-changing. We have all seen the impact of Title IX through tremendous growth in opportunities for girls and women on the court and on the field. In the year before Title IX was passed, in 1972, there were fewer than 300,000 girls participating in high school athletic programs. Today, about 3.5 million girls are involved in education-based high school athletics programs.
It's still in Chambers. A long stride into the lane.
65, 63, first ever state championship.
She is flying. Can she hold on? Yes, she will quite easily.
So there's Moyer. She's going to try to chip this one across, and it's into the back of the net, and the game is over.
Because of the significance of this milestone that will occur on June 23rd, 2022, the NFHS is poised to celebrate this event throughout the coming school year. We will have articles in High School Today magazine. We have devoted a special page on our website to house information on Title IX, and we are going to highlight special moments and people from the past 50 years. The national celebration begins today and will continue throughout the 2021-22 school year, culminating next year at the NFHS annual summer meeting in San Antonio, Texas. Title IX at 50, celebrating and growing opportunities, will offer us all a chance to honor the people in our states who have helped grow opportunities for girls in interscholastic sports and activities. Join us this year as we celebrate the past 50 years and look for ways to make the next 50 years of interscholastic competition even more equitable.
Academy Sports and Outdoors has the gifts to make this your most fun Christmas ever. From game tables, to bikes, to team sports, and the best from Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour, golf, and grills. We've got everybody covered this holiday. Merry Christmas from everyone at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Our guest this morning is Q Tucker, Commissioner of the North Carolina High School Athletic Association. And Q, looking over this journey of Title IX, the last 50 years, what would you say looks different about your student-athlete experience than it does now?
Well, for one thing, there are more student-athlete opportunities for females. When I played basketball in high school, that was the only female sport offered for girls at that time. To compete in track and field, we did what we call field day. So during that time, there weren't those opportunities that there are now, and just the opportunities to improve and be better at your skills, to be stronger, to be faster. All of those kinds of opportunities are now present.
Sure. And looking at some of the progress that we've made over these 50 years and some of the hurdles that you had to cross, what's one hurdle that you dealt with in your professional career that doesn't exist for girls today?
Well, I think it maybe still exists to some extent, but it's the fear of inadequacy, that because I'm female, perhaps I'm not able to do what men do or what guys do. That really is not the case now. If you prepare and you do the things to be ready when that opportunity comes along, it's yours for the taking. And so that's an opportunity that I didn't have early on. However, I think it still exists to some extent because there is that fear. But if females will just look across the broad spectrum, it's not there.
Really what drew me to Safer is my passion that started when my son Shane was knocked unconscious on the field for 5 minutes in a high school game. The fear that came up from the entire stadium, the ambulance pulling onto the field. And at the time, I just thought, someday I'm gonna make my way into this helmet safety space. Safer is that marriage between I'm a little bit afraid of my kid playing and here's a solution.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance was rated as the #1 auto insurer and the only A+ rated company in the nation per Crash Network's 2020 Insurer Report Card. When you have a claim, be sure to have A+ auto insurance from Farm Bureau. Helping you is what we do best.
Hi, I'm Carissa Niehoff, Executive Director of the National Federation of State High School Associations. As families pause all across our country next week to give thanks for the freedoms and blessings of life, millions of high school students, coaches, administrators, and others have much to be thankful for as well, with the return of high school sports and performing arts this year. Last year at this time, only about 1/2 of our member state associations were able to complete volleyball and football championships in their normal time frame due to the pandemic. This year, it is anticipated that all states will be able to complete fall sports championships as well as performing arts events. For the first time since the 2019 fall tournaments concluded almost 2 years ago, state associations will be able to start and finish state championships in a normal time frame. This is great news, mainly for the almost 8 million participants in high school sports and an equal number in performing arts programs. A recent study conducted by the University of Wisconsin and funded by the NFHS Foundation indicated that high school athletes who competed in a sport during the 2020-21 school year were less likely to report anxiety and depression symptoms than when sports were shut down in the spring of 2020. They also reported better physical activity and quality of life scores. This study was confirmation once again of the value of education-based high school sports and performing arts programs. The NFHS will continue to work with its Sports Medicine Advisory Committee and with other organizations to better address mental and emotional wellness issues. We know from the experiences of the past 2 years, however, that the best way to address these issues is to make sure that high school sports and performing arts programs continue to be available in schools nationwide. We indeed are thankful for everyone involved in these vital programs, and we wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving.
Really what drew me to Safer is my passion that started when my son Shane was knocked unconscious on the field for 5 minutes in a high school game. The fear that came up from the entire stadium, the ambulance pulling onto the field. And at the time, I just thought, someday I'm gonna make my way into this helmet safety space. Safer is that marriage between I'm a little bit afraid of my kid playing and here's a solution.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance was rated as the #1 auto insurer and the only A+ rated company in the nation per Crash Network's 2020 Insurer Report Card. When you have a claim, be sure to have A+ auto insurance from Farm Bureau. Helping you is...
Back with you for the second half here on the NFHS Network. It's the 3A Men's Soccer Championship. From Cary, North Carolina, Cocoa Booth Stadium at Wake Mad Soccer Park. I'm Darren Bach. Corey Hodges is with me. And 0-0 at the break between Western Alamance and Hickory. Well, Corey, Hickory will open things off and try to possess and maybe have a successful attack this early on in a half. That would certainly be rare, but both of these teams stingy defensively to this point.
Yeah, they have been, and that's something, of course, that we mentioned pre-match and continue to pepper in throughout. I know we saw that late scoring chance for Western Alamance, but now again, we touched on it before we got going tonight. You're dealing with even cooler temperatures now, and it's just a lot of posturing and trying to work the angles, trying to set each other up in the first half. Nothing came of it in terms of goal scoring, but you're battling that extra element. Plus, both of these teams just seem to be carrying in that regular season defensive form to tonight. And it's going to be tough to crack the code. Feels like Western Alamance has had just a couple of additional opportunities, but it's really not separated by that much.
We talked in the lead-up about the big scores for each of these teams. At this point in the season, they're very good. They've had good years. It's to be expected that they've had some prolific goal scoring. No player has had more than one shot taken in this matchup so far. So it's been intermittent. It's been sparse. It's been, spread out. I think for one of these teams, the key is going to be, hey, let's get one of our goal scorers enough opportunities to capitalize. Another one deep on Hickory will result in a throw-in for Western Alamance as we've flipped sides of the field. Jordan Shutt with the right foot. It was deflected right back to him. Scary scenario here for Hickory. It just won't get out. No clean looks for Western Alamance yet, though. Backus moves it behind his back and then bumps after he has surrendered possession, so it stays with Hickory.
Yeah, that was all Cornell and Backus that time, but specifically what we saw from Aiden Cornell, he just stood right in the middle of about 3 or 4 for Hickory and pushed everyone away. He was just a presence in the middle and really all on his own, one-man army kind of style that time for Cornell.
And now I didn't quite catch the call, but it looks as if Aiden Cornell is being asked to step off. So Cornell off for Western Alamance. And on comes John Aylman for the first time. Jordan Shutt, meanwhile, during the dead period here, signaling for the crowd to get into it. They oblige. High ball on the free kick. it stays with the Red Tornadoes.
I think that last time, if you're shut, you're getting the crowd going a little bit. Of course, it's cold for them too. It's no different than it is on the pitch. You got to get moving around. There's a lot of activity over the break just to get up and move the legs, but shut doing the right thing. Cornell not out there for the moment, so got to make up for that lost defensive presence and get some energy from the crowd to do that, maybe missing one prominent player for the Warriors.
Looks as if this free kick will be Fletcher Tate's. David Escobedo is there with him. Escobedo fakes, Tate lofts it up. And the second chance on the header is wide, not quite out of bounds. But play stopped, and it will be a successful defense. .50 ball won by Jacob Carignan. That allows Western Alamance to try a little bit of something, but Backus swallowed up by a couple of defenders. And then fouled is Keith Johnson as he was running back for it, so that didn't really change the outcome there, but it just slows things down a little bit.
Yeah, Keith Johnson on the move, just couldn't quite catch up. You go back to that pretty furious sequence right there in front of D for Western Alamance, and that got awfully close, and really D was standing his position, just didn't really get close enough for a goal-scoring opportunity, but keep that in mind for later on.
That one stays with Western Alamance as well. Then Howard of Hickory was pleading his case, leapt over the opposing player.
Yeah, Howard's been fun to watch tonight. He's one of a couple who have bounced up there, and again, we're still looking for that first goal of the night, but that doesn't mean that we haven't had our fair share of highlight plays already. And Howard, his speed alone makes him a highlight in the making.
All-conference player, the junior. One of those middle-of-the-field guys, has been defending the ball handler on a number of occasions, but it feels like we haven't called his name a lot because it hasn't really been at his feet on the attack. And Jordan Shutt with a hip check there, hits the deck. And before getting up, encouraging the crowd some more.
Yeah, Shutt is really into this one now, and he's got the crowd on his side, and they're all going to file in behind that flying number 11.
Well, the senior just got a decent opportunity for the Warriors here, as the dead ball will begin just outside of the box right there in the corner. That's not a bad angle.
Yeah, this is actually really advantageous right now for Western Alamance. You can get a good look at this. It's all about clearing those first two and getting that turn and angling it back from left to right, ideally.
Jordan Shutt joined by Ian Backus there. Shutt runs past. Backus, they tried to deke the defense. Shutt's deflected right away. And a diving effort at that one wide. It was going to go out off of Hickory, but Braun dove and was out of bounds at the end line, so it will result in a corner kick anyway.
Now you get another chance here, granted not on that original kick position, but you can come in from the corner and still try the same thing. Working the angle, trying to turn it from one side to the other.
First corner of the second half for Western Alamance. A low ball squeaks through everybody. Shutt has a second chance at it, lobs it up, and it's headed away. Out of bounds, a goal kick oncoming.
Good presence of mind that time for Braun to be ready for anything. We saw the near trickery for Western Alamance as they decided to try a little something there. Braun, something to keep in mind for later on for him.
Jordan Shutt again staying involved. Passes it right off of his teammate, Robbie Simpson.
Simpson wasn't quite ready for it and kind of shocked him a little bit.
I don't even know that it was intended to go Simpson's way is the thing. Now from outside of the box. Rignan gives out. Jorge Salas was very active in the first half. Launches that one to the side of the frame.
See Braun that time almost holding on to the side of that goalpost, just ready for anything, kind of like a firefighter going down the pole once the alarm sounds. And Braun was ready for the bell to be rung, but still scoreless.
Goal kick first touched by Western Alamance. Now at Ian Backus's feet. Good stab at it there. Hickory trying to revert the direction of momentum. Now across mid-pitch. Rangel with the give and the pass. Off target, overrun. Either way, it's out of bounds.
Yeah, you could see the visible frustration that time for Ben Howard. Howard just was almost begging for the ball that time. He knew he had a shot at it. It just went by.
Not a deep kick to get it away for Western Alamance, but here we go. They end up with it. A little touch back to Backus. And a throw-in opportunity. Simpson, I don't know if that was an intentional fake or if it slipped out of his hands.
With the temperatures tonight, it could go either way. It could have been a slip.
Backus tried the cross to Jordan Shutt. Red Tornadoes get it away, and an aggressive tackle by Salas at mid-pitch.
Yeah, Salas very physical that time.
Quick on the free kick is Hickory. And Spencer D slides it away.
D playing far out that time and on the slide to boot. Can't be afraid to come out as far as you need to if you're D, and of course that goes for Braun as well, but especially for D, who's been more wide-ranging tonight when tending that goal.
I think the intention there too, Corey, is keep it off the end line. That was last touched by one of his defenders. This is a more favorable situation than, say, a corner kick. So he didn't even really hit it well, but mission accomplished to get it out of bounds at the sideline. And Cornell boots it away, but now Hickory with a couple of substitutions, fresh legs all over. Tough opportunity there. Fought off by Western Alamance, but now we've got a dead ball situation just outside of the box.
Yeah, Howard had his opportunity and Shutt finally closed it down. It found its way back to the outstretched hands of Shutt.
Spears Culpepper. It's headed up. Spears puts it up on top of the goal. And another corner for Hickory. Spears Culpepper to issue it with his right. Line drive went toward the top of the box there. Simpson pokes away, and a full head of steam as it's knocked away near the midline.
You know, Robbie Simpson on the move, tracked that down the whole time and then on the surge after it.
That's a strength of his. He's come out from the congestion of the packed-in back line a couple of times to make a good run at one. Salas tried to throw in, and now I'm led to believe that Simpson's earlier was unintentional.
I think so, and I think it's what we saw there as well. Just not quite having everything moving at the same time how he wants it.
Opportunity for Hickory. And a hard tackle just outside the box. And it's knocked away out of bounds. Goal kick for Western Alamance. What a defensive stand. Sawyer Exum with the tackle. Risky play.
Yeah.
That close to the scoring area, but it pays off.
Yeah, Exum deserves his personal hand clap that time, giving himself a little bit of a round of applause. He played that cleanly the entire way.
Ian Backus in stride. Controls, but cannot keep it. Cornell has it taken away. Aggressive defense again for Western Alamance. That time maybe a bit of frustration the cause for Cornell. Some more physicality. Oohs and ahs out of the crowd.
Yeah, especially so because these plays are pretty clean right now.
Rignan had it taken away. Now back with the Warriors.
Saw it that time too with Simpson stepping through.
Good ball to shut ahead. Can he improve his angle? And it's poked away out of bounds at the end line. That is an impressive defensive play. Jacob Cisneros. The Western Alamance faithful wanted a call of some kind, but if we were to look back at that one, I think it would prove that Cisneros really just angled his body and his legs to punch it right through.
Yeah, that's becoming a theme ever since we've begun the second half. Clean defensive plays.
Backus with the corner. Shutt had a chance on the header. It's reeled back in, and a shot on frame saved by Braun.
Yeah, Braun, he was already down in the defensive position before just a second there, a slight little flinch, but Braun was able to secure it eventually, but a tick of a heartbeat moment there.
Ball issued forward. Backus chases it down into the corner and sends another cross headed right to Braun. That time it was Carignan with the opportunity. Villegas Duran with the shot off of his foot prior to that. Really his first decent look at the goal so far tonight.
Yeah, Braun's in the Spencer D role right now. He's taking a lot of shots, and they're coming at a pretty rapid succession.
Salas almost had a run there for Western Alamance, but it's briefly cleared out. Carignan fighting through traffic. Now here's Exum to shut down into the corner. Backus again. Can't chase it down, and it's out of bounds. Throw in though.
And Backus just sacrificing himself there to go on the pursuit. But biggest thing right now, these are being called cleanly, and play is being allowed to continue. It's really given this second half a little bit more of a brisk pace.
And again, mission accomplished for the Hickory defense because that throw in right there, less favorable than a corner, right? I mean, that opportunity, as it panned out to be not an opportunity at all.
Absolutely.
Backus fires one through multiple defenders. Chases down the deflection and is tied up as it rolls out of bounds. Stays with the Warriors.
Yeah, Ian Backus will not go away here for Western Alamance. You're going to have to fend him off here. Cornell too.
Now Jordan Shutt. I mean, these are tense moments for the Red Tornadoes.
It's ratcheted up big time. I mean, we've moved up 2-3 notches on the scale here.
Entering the 18th minute of the second half. substitutions for both sides. Aldo Cruz back in for the first time this half for the Red Tornadoes. Exum launches it forward in Backus's direction. Shot. Blocking out Ortiz. Or Cruz, rather.
Yeah, that was terrific defense that time. Both of those guys going back and forth, and just such a great job to, as you said, really box it out almost.
Cruz, the victor in that small scenario, that boxed him in. Gets control to the Red Tornadoes and just slightly offside there. So that's something with the pendulum,
right?
That is possession from one side of the pitch to the other. It feels like Western Alamance has been in their attacking third so much that it almost took them a little bit longer to stretch back out, and the back line wasn't there. Backus, not much of an opportunity there. Too many defenders, couldn't squeeze through. Cruz, one touch, and it's cleared out by Johnson. To the back line again for Western Alamance. Backus up with Tate for the header. Tate wins it. And shot with a physical tackle. That'll force the guys in white to get back defensively. So not as much of a risk for an offside for the Red Tornadoes here.
Yeah, you're just seeing the physical play continue to ratchet up. Really only a matter of time right there before Shutt or someone else was going to get some type of a call, but credit, though, to let it play for so long.
Spears Culpepper thought he might have gamed Western Alamance there, seeing a gap on that left side, so he just spins it. Into the corner, Cruz has it knocked away. Just a throw in for Hickory. That's a long one issued by Culpepper, though. And now they get a corner out of it. Culpepper, two-time All-Conference and All-Region. The senior in this 0-0 contest sends in the corner, and it's headed away immediately. On the ground, and D dives away at it. Got fingertips on it. It's out at the end line. Here comes another corner.
Yeah, D had to be alert, as Escobedo had one late chance at it and had to be ready.
Culpepper puts it on the ground. That one deflected right back. Another try by David Escobedo. And this time, out at the end line means a goal kick.
Attention fans, just a reminder, at the conclusion of tonight's contest,
Good stand that time again by D and Western Alamance as it got crowded. That was a little bit of a lengthy stand, but D again up to the challenge.
To our players and coaches immediately following the end of the contest. Thank you for your cooperation.
Nifty footwork to keep it in by Cruz there. And it stays with Hickory. Long cross. Got the defense off guard. With the recovery there by Exum. Western Alamance tightens up after that miscue. They get out of it with a goal kick. I mean, that's as much as you can ask for. Just the one slight hiccup. turn it into an inconsequential mistake.
Yeah, Exum there again, really disrupting that sequence and keeps things all square, nil.
There's another one in the direction of Villegas Duran. Bobby Simpson just staying with it. Relentless, to use the other team's moniker all season long. Exum with the one touch from Shutt outside the box. He was crowded and is instead charged with the foul.
Unfortunately for Exum that time, I know he thought it may have been clean, but the defender just fell and then slid to the side. And Exum and everyone for Western Alamance waiting on that final call.
Approaching 16 minutes left in the second half, 0-0. Western Alamance and Hickory here on the NFHS Network. Both teams stingy defensively. It's only gotten tighter in the recent minutes. Through ball, unsuccessful toward Bacchus. And the Warriors with another throw in. Aldo Cruz exits. Brandon Garcia back on, the sophomore for Hickory. Meanwhile, for Western Alamance, Jordan Shutt off. Garrett Bessiker, the senior, is on. Bacchus met by some tough defense. A little too tough.
Yeah, he and Escobedo going at it. That was terrific. Those two tussling back and forth on the far side.
Ground game for Western Alamance on the dead ball. It looked like Hickory was going to come out and slingshot from the defense with a counterattack there. They've been slowed a bit, though. Rangel heads to the corner, and a hard tackle deemed clean. And it'll stay with West Alamance. That's impressive play by Keith Johnson, their defender. He's been as solid as a rock tonight.
Bessiker started some of it. Johnson was there as that final line of defense. And yeah, just the continued high level of gritty defensive play, even now with under 14 to go. So impressive. It almost seems as if there's an extra wind out there here late.
Simpson tries it through the middle. Dished right back. And Western Alamance now with a chance as Noah Barrett, the freshman, checks back in. He's the one who gave it to Bessiker. Garcia stabs at it. Escobedo ahead. And now Garcia with a full head of steam. It's Salas there defensively. Seen a lot of that. Some near breaks for either side. Just met by great angle play defensively.
Yeah, the defense for either side, again, something that we touched on a number of times before we even began this match tonight. We knew defense would be at the forefront, and that's probably what's going to decide it here late. You get this late without scoring a goal, everything gets heightened.
Down into the corner. Exum takes it away. Things are getting congested. Now Western Alamance had to get it out. They make do anyway. Ball forwarded.
I know that Hickory has it back, but Aiden Cornell, that was so impressive to go from one side to the other. And here he goes again.
Drew a double team. Couple touches later, Barrett's got some space to work with. Now Salas. And it's poked away. Lewis Tate on the defense that time. Villegas Duran, a spin. Trying to free himself up. And Hickory stands its ground. Look at this. Numbers. A 3-on-2 for the Red Tornadoes. Exum catches up. That one launched and parried away. Spencer D with the save of the night.
It finally happened for D to where he had to make the big play, and he does. It's almost, in a way, for Spencer D like he's been getting ready for that moment all night, trying it out earlier. He's had opportunities close, and he's batted them all away. He was in a full defensive form that time and had to leap and get up aerial to keep this match where we are.
I mean, that was well struck. The anticipation of having to make that save is another story, because you've got at one point a 3-on-2 attack. Great job by Exum to catch up defensively and at least even things up.
Yeah, the fantastic awareness of D there to see the numbers advantage coming right to him and being ready to move sideways, up and down.
The corner is in. Couple of headers, and it's wide. He didn't have to make the play that time, but he was there. His presence affects everything, it feels like.
Yeah, again, when you look at D's numbers this season, it just, again, you really feel like it's kind of led to this. Again, with 90 saves on the season coming in, he's been there throughout and showing off his form again. He's built for this moment.
Technically didn't record a save in the first half. He's got several in the last 30 minutes or so. Backus now. Nifty pass out wide, and it is uncorked into the back netting.
Yeah.
That is a bit of an aggressive strike by Garrett Bessiker.
Kind of feel like if you're Bessiker with Braun in front that you do feel that momentum and that adrenaline rising in you a little bit, which is probably a good thing on a night this cold. It warms you up a bit, but a little bit too much on the foot that time.
Well, just from a almost Machiavellian standpoint, you want to make Braun have to make a play. D's had to make one. You sort of want it, you at least want to put it on the goal.
That's the ultimate test here late, Darren, as well, too. You try to figure out which goaltender has maybe had the least amount of trouble tonight, and can you possibly take advantage of that? Of course, on the flip side, with Braun, he's had less chances to face than D has.
Cornell trying to find some space, gets it forward. Bessiker is taken out, and it rolls away at the end line, so a clean tackle, and it'll be a goal kick. That is a great defensive play, as it turns out, for Hickory.
Yeah, Cisneros there, that was step by step again, just not allowing for that extra space, and that's again while we're still at this scoring situation, with 8 minutes and ticking and still scoreless. It's just been plays like that up and down the pitch tonight.
Gabriel Palencia is off for Hickory. I believe that is Oscar Resendiz, who just came on. A try forward. D will usher it out at the end line.
Again, D, I really feel like we're getting to the point in the match to where if it's a close opportunity to score a goal, if it's something within the periphery, Spencer D has seen it tonight. I really can't think at this point, Darren, what he hasn't seen. If it comes down to a point like that late in the match, or maybe if we even go a little bit longer tonight, I feel like D is in terrific defensive form because he's seen the entire palette tonight.
Seemingly in the zone, especially late here, but the volume has been there for the Red Tornadoes. Back line moves it away for Western Alamance there. Backus, great sequence there. Tries to get it in. Villegas Duran was there, but it's deflected and short of the target. Now Garcia looking to answer a run, but too many white shirts back there.
It's kind of been the case for a lot of this evening, Darren. Just too much for Western Alamance at times. They seem to attract themselves almost like filament on the other side. When they get down there, they can fill it up quick.
A takeaway for the Warriors. Inaccurate pass for Bessiker, but no harm, no foul. And it's knocked out of bounds, and they'll throw it in. Backus cutting, tries the cross, it's knocked away. And now Cornell lifts it to the opposite side. Nobody was there, but here comes Salas, not in time. And it stays with Hickory. Robbie Simpson heads it out at the sideline. Now under 5.5 to play in the second half of action.
So it makes it so difficult now. It always kind of feels like the 5-minute to go mark is that crucial mark of any match, whether we're scoreless like we are here tonight in this state title final, or maybe it's a 1-1 match or a 2-2 match and you get down late, under 5. You just wonder, is there enough time left?
Stressful moment for Western Alamance there. They get it out of the scoring zone. And that one cleared to mid-pitch. Villegas Duran issues it back. Cornell with the pass forward. And not quite enough. Good play by Braun to come off of his line.
That's good right there for Will Braun that time. Gives him a chance to go out and show some of his defensive prowess and kind of gets him into the D mold to where he's working it now.
Salas the takeaway. Bessiker with the long ball forward. Villegas Duran to the middle. Backus is tackled at the top of the box. And that will have severe consequences for Hickory. I believe that was inside the box, so Backus is going to have a penalty kick. With under 4 minutes remaining in the second half, the clock has stopped. 3:57 to play.
Like Backus had such a head of steam that time. It almost felt like we were destined for something like that. Having to make that defensive play, having it such a physical play again with time and score really affecting that as well.
Backus v. Braun here. 0-0, 3:57 on the clock in the 3A men's soccer team championship.
You see again the look to the crowd for shut.
His teammates quick to correct him. Hey, we need them to be maybe quiet here. Back is set for the penalty kick. Both teams readying themselves for a potential rebound. We talked about Braun maybe not having the big save opportunities that Spencer D has had so far tonight. This would certainly match anything D has done.
Saw Simpson and Villegas Duran over there as well trying to get set. But you're right, this is Braun's moment right here. D's had his share tonight. Time for Will Braun.
Backus rockets it into the left corner. Western Alamance leads 1-0 with under 4 minutes to play.
Ian Backus, so impressive to get that past Braun. You had to have it right there. And it's never easy when you're staring down the goalie and you've got to find that little sliver of space. Backus did that, and it's almost shouldn't come as much of a surprise as it might be to some, Darren, because Backus has been just in lockstep throughout the evening. It feels like we've called Backus's name almost as much as anyone's, and for him to deliver it here, 1-0 now with just under 4 to play. So impressive. Talk about shining at the right time.
Well, he's been as involved as anyone tonight, so that he was allowed that moment or that opportunity to grab the moment seems appropriate. And now Western Alamance has to lock it in for these final 3:45. Backus clears it away. Villegas Duran in a chase for it. But Braun comes out where he is unable to make a play with his hands. Instead, some footwork to poke it away. And that, obviously, Corey, you give up a goal, that run, I mean, that changes the game, right? That puts you almost completely out of it. So a risky play pays off for Braun.
Yeah, that's a have-to-have-it scenario that time for Will Braun. You have to come out and play that. You can't stand back. You have to assert yourself a bit, and he did.
Rignan, a couple of tries to clear it out. A lot of loft on both of those. Backus tries it on the ground. And Salas stands pat. Simpson with the push ahead. Villegas Duran sidesteps his man. Back ahead, Duran. Braun has to stay on his line, and it's in! And the call as he was off. So no 2-0 advantage for Western Alamance. I was wondering there. Slightly out of our vantage here in the booth was the flag at that near sideline.
I know it's still just 1-0, but it feels like Western Alamance, a couple of these late opportunities, they seem to be finding it in the right spot. Here's Hickory's chance, maybe.
Well, it's a big offside call for Hickory. We're now under 2 minutes to play. 2-0 in favor of the Warriors would have put it away. Down into the corner. Exum, excellent defense.
Now really Hickory here for the first time tonight has to hustle. See the clock turned up a little bit.
Exum clears it out into the forestry that surrounds Wake Med Soccer Park. And there's Shutt clearing it away with a header. But it creates a corner kick scenario. 70 seconds. Under a minute to play, 1-0 Western Alamance. And some substitutions for the Red Tornadoes. Therefore, the clock stops momentarily at 51 seconds.
You can use the break right here, however short, just to try to collect yourself and get ready for more than likely the final stand.
High lofted corner, headed away, and D with the stop. It's cleared out of bounds at the end line. What reflexes!
Amazing by Spencer D, and that was as close as you can get.
Hickory scrambling for another try at it. That one easily headed away. Salas's kick is deflected back. And offside was the call. Incidental for Hickory, but unfortunate. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0 on the scoreboard, except for the one for Western Alamance's lone goal, and they take the 3A state championship 1-0.
Right there in the middle of it, you saw Spencer D coming over. You can't miss him tonight with that top working goal. And D, a high flyer, and they meet the crowd withstanding these cold temperatures tonight, but that warms the hearts of all here in support of Western Alamance on this Friday.
Ian Backus with the PK was in to give either team its first lead of the contest. Late in the second half, there was just under 4 minutes remaining when he put it in the back of the net, and that is the differentiator. Spencer D was sensational in the net, Corey. The lone score, all Western Alamance needed, and an exciting start to our state championships weekend.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for really much better. You get down under 5 to go. You finally get your goal for Backus to finish this thing up. And, of course, D has to make that defensive stand. You can't get the goal without the defensive stand to go along with it. And you equal those together and you get this 1-0 shutout. But you got to have one to get the other. And those final 5 minutes, everything ratcheted up. We knew we'd be in for a thrilling conclusion. And we were, and much like we talked about pre-match, kind of came down to defense. Of course, you had to break the scoreless start that went into the 70th minute plus, but defense, the order of the night from D, and rightly he was part of that scrum flying off the pitch once victory was assured.
Well, again, a thrilling start to our weekend. The other 3 levels will play tomorrow. Corey, you'll be on for all 3 of those.
We'll be here.
Right?
That's right.
It's at 11 a.m., the 1A matchup between Voyager Academy and Christ the King at roughly 2:30 p.m. You don't want to assume anything regarding the timing of these in case extra time is needed. The 2A matchup, Green Central and Shelby in that one. And then the conclusion tomorrow, the 4A matchup at 6 p.m., New Hanover, the number 1 seed, against Huff, the number 8 seed. So I'm excited for you, my friend.
Yes.
Good to finally work with you.
I know,
This has been a long time coming, the two of us. So it was good to get in a booth together and have an exciting one as we just did. 1-0, the final score from Coca-Booth Stadium at Wake Med Soccer Park. Western Alamance takes home the 3A Men's Soccer State Championship. A great effort put up by the Hickory Red Tornadoes. A fantastic season for them. 22 wins, 4 losses, and 1 tie to conclude their season. So for Corey Hodges and the rest of our terrific crew here on the NFHS Network, I'm Darren Vaught saying so long from Coca-Booth Stadium at Wake Med Soccer Park. When we come back, we've got final presentations of the championship trophies and the runners-up, so stay along for that.
Ho, ho, ho!
Academy Sports and Outdoors has the gifts to make this your most fun Christmas ever. From game tables to bikes to team sports and the best from Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour. Golf and grills, we've got everybody covered this holiday. Merry Christmas from everyone at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Really what drew me to Safer is my passion that started when my son Shane was knocked unconscious on the field for 5 minutes in a high school game. The fear that came up from the entire stadium, the ambulance pulling onto the field. And at the time, I just thought, someday I'm gonna make my way into this helmet safety space. Safer is that marriage between I'm a little bit afraid of my kid playing and here's a solution.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance was rated as the #1 auto insurer and the only A+ rated company in the nation per Crash Network's 2020 Insurer Report Card. When you have a claim, be sure to have A+ auto insurance from Farm Bureau. Helping you is what we do best.
This NFHS Network Championship event is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
All right, so pump fake. Corey and I are back with you for the trophy presentations. Quite the scene. Western Alamance, the 3A state champions. And Corey, in fact, we see some Western Alamance parents, fans in front of us.
That's right.
They unfurled state championship signs. I wonder if they had runner-up signs, just in case, like the T-shirts in professional sports.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of like Eisenhower's second message there, deciding not to use it, going for the victory over the defeat, because they're all about the V tonight, the big victory for Western Alamance. And yeah, and you mentioned it as well, Darren, about some of the pre-made signs. We saw the Cammy Got Swag sign coming out, and you love to see the personality kind of filtered in here as well. These guys are champs, but they're having fun with it, and you kind of get that personality involved.
Let's go down to the field where these awards will be presented. Again, Western Alamance, the 3A state champions over the Red Tornadoes of Hickory High School.
The official corporate sponsor for awards for the North Carolina High School Athletic Association. 00, Will Braun. 0, Watts King. Number 1, Jose Figueroa. Number 2, Carlos Lopez. Number 3, Oscar Resendez Zapata. Number 4, Jacob Cisneros. Number 5, Brian Hernandez. Number 6, Eddie Adrian Torres. Number 7, Cesar Rangel. Number 8, Nick Huddle. Number 9, Orlando Almazan. Number 10, Aldo Funes. Number 11, Ben Howard. Number 12, Justin Ortiz. Number 13, Spears Culpepper. Number 14, Peter Zagroli. Number 15, Brandon Garcia. Number 16, Louis Tate. Number 17, Luis Suarez. Number 18, Anthony Adrian. Number 19, Gabe Valencia. Number 20, Fletcher Tate. Number 21, Adamir Garcia. Number 22, David Escobedo. Number 27, Alex Anash. Assistant coaches, Bobby Delback, Edgar Badeo, and Bruno Randall. And your head coach, Brian Jones. The captains and head coach Jillings would now come forward to accept the state runner-up flag. Congratulations to the Red Tornadoes of Hickory High School for a tremendous season and an excellent match played tonight. Congratulations, Coach Jones and the Red Tornadoes. ladies and gentlemen, the North Carolina High School Athletic Association State Champions, the Warriors of Western Alamance High School. Members of the championship team also received medals from Wells Fargo. Number 0, Alex Anderson. 0, Joey Leopold. Number 1, Spencer D. Number 2, Noah Barrett. Number 3, Robbie Simpson. Number 4, Caden Thornwell. Number 5, Jacob Kerrigan. Number 6, Julio Cortez. Number 7, Guy L. Vegas Duran. Number 8, Blake Bacchus. Number 9, John Alilon. Number 10, Aiden Cornell. Number 11, Jordan Shutt. Number 12, Sawyer Exler. Number 13, Garrett Bisecker. Number 14, Chandler Lynch. Number 15, Ethan Gruniewski. Number 17, Julian Perez. Number 18, Henry Wroblewski. Number 19, Keith Johnson. Number 20, Ian Baca. Number 22, Sean Ocean. Number 23, Tristan Root. Number 24, Jorge Salas. Number 25, Rakes Dalton. Number 26, Luis Guerrero. Number 31, Austin Cornell. Number 33, Trot Dalton. Assistant coach, Will Thomas. And head coach, Camden Brooks. Coach Brooks is also receiving a special plaque as head coach of the state champions. At this time, we would ask the captains and coaches of the state champions to come forward and accept the state championship plaque for this classification and the championship banner. The team will also receive state championship t-shirts. Congratulations to the Warriors of Western Alamance High School. There were a number of outstanding performances in this championship, but one athlete has been designated as the most valuable player for his performance in this final. The MVP of this state championship as selected by a special panel from Western Alamance High School, Ian Baca. Yeah!